I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we are very happy to see you here today. And that is Sophie, the co-star. We are working on a really neat and fun project. We did it a couple of years ago, but I wanted to make one reversible, and then we actually had a recent request about a close-up more of the pinning and how I got there. It is a free pattern. You just have to be able to go and download it. Hopefully you can find the link and share it below. And it is like we're doing a dual or reversible skullcap. There's many, what they call them, like we use them for when we're out in the garden and or out working around in the yard and stuff, and be able to like mop your brow as well as protect it from the sun. So this is a reversible one. I made it out of this beautiful purple paisley, and we're going to work on another one. Now, you don't have to reverse it. This is one that I made a couple years ago, and we use it regularly. You can tell with the frayed edges here that it has been loved. And this is just what cotton, it only frayed just a little bit, right? Because of all the washes. And I only put just a tiny little folded edge over on the side here. I didn't even roll the edge, I just folded over. So, and then like I said, as you can tell, it's been loved and used many times. So that's probably one out of about 6 I made for us, for me and the boys. So we're gonna do another one today, or a couple ones today, show you how you do at least a reversible, and so you don't have to worry about tucking in, you know, those edges or anything like that. Okay. So this is approximately a 24 inch piece of fabric by about 20. And you don't have to have these pieces on the fold, and I can show you that it is possible to still make it and not be on the fold. You can use it as just a piece. If that's all that you have, then just go for it. Same with even of the middle part, and I had that even on the one we did years ago. Okay, so you don't have to have it on a fold. But if you want it on a fold, this is what you have to do. So you got these 3 pieces, very simple and easy. Okay, so this part here goes on the fold, that little part right up there. Oops, hold on, can I get you in the camera here? Oops, if that happens. Right up there. And then this one does not need to be on the fold because those are the side parts of the band or the head. And then this one also on the fold. So that's why I said about 24 inches by about 20 to get you what you need. And then you're going to have scrappy bits left over. So, but like I say, you don't have to have it on the fold. Just add a 1/4 inch on those edges for seam allowance on this edge and this edge here. Okay, so just add a 1/4 inch. So just shift your pattern over a little bit, or when you have it, make sure you're still 1/4 inch from the edge, so be able to sew it. Okay, so once we get all those traced and cut out, okay, these are going to be our 3 pieces that we need. Okay, now my pieces here, you can see it's approximately 11 inches by 4 inches. Okay. And then this one here is about 19 inches, and of course it goes to the curve, right? So it has a curve in it right here. And then this one here is about 18.5 by 5 inches, and that's just so you have an idea of how big this pattern piece is when you go to print it out. I think I might have enlarged it just a smidgen, but you know, that's just because I know we want a comfortable headgear, right? Okay, so once you get all those pieces cut out, this is what we have. I'll fold this off to the side. Okay, and what you want to work with first is this piece. I'm using batik for this. Of course, it's going to be like almost no fray at all. And there's really no right or wrong side. Okay, so here we go. We have the piece just like this. Here, let's move these ones off to the side so they're not a distractant. Okay. And then when we come to these pieces here, which we're adding to the side, so this is going to be where the front, this is where the band is going to go, okay? And this is the back, okay? So these pieces here, they need to go, so they are pieced just like this. You got to put the round part in the corner, and then you're going to pin all the way along, and then this end right here is going to end up flat with this end over here. Okay, so here, let me show you how to do that. Let's just flip it around so you can see. Okay, so it's right in front of me, so you can see it right in front of you. Okay, we pop that right in the corner. We're just going to pop a pin there to keep her steady. And we're going to take this curve and our fabric and just pin around. Okay, so we've got some more pins here. I like using the variety pins. I got birds, I've got safety spools, I've got buttons. I have all sorts of little characters. Okay, and you just keep putting it down. And then as you come down to here, you can put a little pin in there first. And then it should sit nice and even. Okay. Now, of course, you can enlarge or shorten the pattern just by taking, you know, even quarter inch away or adding quarter inch or whatever around your pattern. Okay. Okay. And again, same up in this corner. Okay. And then placing it edge to edge as we go around. Okay. And then all the way to the end. Okay. We'll take this one out to ease a little bit of that fabric there, and it sits much better. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do just a straight stitch. We're going to back stitch at this end just a little bit, okay, and same at this end just a little bit, okay, just to make sure we're not going to lose all our hard work as we're flipping and flopping this around. It's not very hard. There's only like three seams to sew, and you get this all done if you wanted it to, without being reversible, right? So we're going to sew here, and then we're going to sew again on this side from there all the way around, okay? And I just have some neutral gray thread in my machine. I'm using a 2.4 stitch. If I turn it on, I will be. Once we get there. Okay, I'm going to move this pin out of the way. Try and line up that bottom part. Okay, and then do a little back stitch. And then make sure I'm close to my pin cushion. So as I take it out, I'm going to raise just a quarter inch. So where my needle drops to the edge of my foot right here, where it's the clear plastic meets the the metal part, is a quarter inch. So I just kind of ride my fabric right on the edge of that. Okay. But if you had a quarter inch foot, that makes certainly things a whole lot easier. Okay. Don't forget to slow down before taking out your pins. Make sure you tuck and kind of shoot the fabric underneath too to make sure you're not getting any folds or puckers. Okay. Just move this one just out of the way, and then as it comes close to the edge, we'll do a little back stitch just to make sure. Okay. Now we're going to do that on the other side. Okay. See how that all came together, nice and pretty. And you can whip these up super duper fast as gifts for people for, you know, Christmas. Goes part of their gifts, whether you do a basket or a sock or what have you. And especially if you grab a nice batik, then you don't have to worry about any of the frayed edges. You can even pinking shear it too if you wanted. I'm just going to move that pin out of the way. Making sure the edge, if you had cotton, that would definitely save the bit of fraying. But I kind of think the fraying adds to the headscarf or the head skull cap. Durag. It's called many things actually. Do you know it has something different? Leave a comment below. Okay. So there's our two seams. Okay. And that's a beautiful batik there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now we're going to add the band on top. So what we want to do is find the center. So we're going to find the center just like that by folding it and lining up those two seams. And we're just going to give it a pinch. Going to pinch and then just squish with our our nail in between our nail and our fingers. So we get like a little fold. Okay. So now we're going to go over here to the table. And this part here is where it's like, oh, well, I think you would put the small end towards this guy. No, you put the top end, okay? So this here was the arch is the longest. This is the longest part of the arch. You want to put that part right up against the middle, okay? And then you're going to pin this side and this side, okay? just like that. I was folding this edge here, the seam allowance, I was putting the seam towards the inside. Okay, and then once you get that pinned all the way around, did I do one already? Oh, no. Okay. I had. And then this is the third seam. And then you have your project is done if you wanted it to be that way. Okay, see here's that seam right there. I'm going to put that towards the center. Just pop a few pins down the side just to make sure we're sewing nice and straight. And this just comes off the edge here. Okay. Okay, now we're just going to do that little seam like that, okay? Oh, I pulled out my thread. Whoa. Okay. Let's cut it nice and fresh. It's always fresh. If your thread comes out of your needle, it's always nice to give it a nice fresh cut. It's so much easier than trying to rethread it that it's got like a frayed edge to it. Okay. All right, now we go and start from this part down here, where it's just joining with the long part with the short, and we're just going to do a little back stitch. Make sure our hard work stays. That's why we do the back stitch. Okay. Now you can do this in contrasting thread, complementary thread, whatever you like. On the front part, if you wanted to, you could stitch down one of your fancy stitches you got on your machine. Good way to use those. Give them a test. It's not too big of a project, it's just a little bit, and you can see whether you like it or not. It's better to start like that than try and start with a whole quilt project first, and then you realize you don't like the stitch, or it's taking way too long. Because some of those fancy stitches do take a bit, and you have to let it run themselves. Alright, so take that out, and again we're going to back stitch right as we come to the edge of the fabric where the short part meets the long part, okay? All right, and then there we go. That is our first Durag Skullcap, okay? See, and as you see, fold it over to the other side. The short part is where it needs to come closer to your head, okay? So that makes it a nice even the pull towards the head of your cap, okay? So just like that, okay? So just we could try it out. Okay. And then just a little tie in the back. Have this part here is what protects your neck from sunshine or like windburn or anything like that. And of course you can wear this under a bicycle helmet, a hat, of course a motorcycle helmet, anything like that, a welding helmet. You know, all the things lets people where they get a little hot and they need, or even as you're, if you happen to be a glass maker. So there we have is just one. Now if you want to do the two of them together, you just make two exactly like that, and then you pin them. You pin that edge right here, that short edge that we were talking for the curve. You pin those all together, and then you just sew all the way around. Okay, and I do have one that's already sewn. Okay, so once that is there, once you've done that, you want to make sure as you're sewing, you're leaving a gap. Okay, you're going to leave a gap to sew. Oh, my pin. Oh, there, it kind of didn't fade away. But it's about, I don't know, 2-3 inches. And that's, you're going to turn everything right side out. You even want to go and cross over at the bottom of these two as well. If you don't want to, then you can just stay straight. And then once you turn the right side out, you can pinking shear that edge as well. Okay. So now we have it so it's all sewn around. We just take it and we turn it right side out. And you have yourself a reversible cap. Okay. Some people call them surgical caps too because they're very similar to a surgical cap. And just grab like a long ruler or a stick or a chopstick or something like that and to be able to poke all the parts out, okay? It won't take too long, and you can do it just by, popping your finger in like that and then just kind of holding on to it against the fabric and pulling out. So you don't necessarily need all those fancy tools, but, they sometimes can help if you struggle. I struggle every day. It's the life of it. Okay, so once you get everything turned out, which is going to look amazing, you can do a top stitch all the way around. Okay, well, let's make sure that tie gets out too. Where are you? There it is. Okay, then once you get it all turned out, then you go and you do a lovely top stitch all the way around, and it looks beautiful. And of course, then you're going to fold in that one edge where you turned it right side out and finish it off. Okay? Awesome. There you go. Make gifts for people. Okay? All right. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon, all right? Stay out of trouble. Bye. Boom, boom. Doing down the highway. Looking for adventure.